I'm ecstatic just to have this honor to talk to you. And thank you so much for taking the time to talk to our listeners.
I am thrilled to be on the call with you. Thanks for having me.
Well, I also just have to say, I just want to reassure you that you and your entire family are highly supported and lifted continually in love and prayer by your extended American family. And we are just so proud of you and your family and all that you stand for with such style and grace. And just God bless you for just being such an awesome woman of God and truly such an inspiration, not just for women, young and old, but people across the world. So thank you.
Well, that means a lot. And, we hear it all the time, but we can never hear it enough, because I know that Barack is working hard and he doesn't want to let anybody down. He knows that there's so much at stake, and there's so many things that can be lost for people if we don't get this done, whether it's health care or Pell Grants for our young people or getting decent and smart immigration reform, you name it. It's all on the line. So.
Right.
He is serious and focused, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to call in, because voter registration ends in Virginia on Monday.
That's right.
This Monday. So, all your listeners, we just want them to know that it's so important for them to make their voices heard. And, every vote is going to count in this election. As you know, Kianna, things are tight in Virginia. It's always a close race in Virginia. But things are very tight. And last presidential election in 2008, Barack won the state of Virginia by about 200,000 votes, but that broken down over precincts is really just 100 votes per precinct.
Right.
So especially for young voters or people who have never voted, who think, well, what difference will it make, if I vote, or, why, my involvement won't matter. That's just absolutely not true. If there's anyone listening who isn't registered and who hasn't voted and is not sure whether they're going to vote, that's a part of that 100 voters that could make the difference in this election. So people have to be registered by Monday, or else they're not going to be able to vote and have a voice in this election. So we want to make sure that happens.
Absolutely. And it's such an easy process. So there's so many websites and so many resources out there that allow people to register to vote. And again, that deadline is this Monday. And as you just heard the First Lady say, it's not hard, but really it's so important. What do you say to people who feel like, my vote doesn't matter?
As I've said a lot, and other civil rights leaders have said, people fought, died for us to have the right to vote. And it is the most important nonviolent tool for change that we have in this democracy, and we just can't afford to sit on the sidelines, because while we're sitting out and ignoring things and thinking that it doesn't matter, let me tell you, there are a lot of folks who are making sure, there are people who want to take their country back. You hear it all the time, and the question is, whose voices are going to determine the future of this country, how our tax laws are crafted, because there are people who really believe that the wealthiest shouldn't pay the highest tax rates. In fact, it should be teachers and firefighters. That's going to be determined in this election, whether we focus on our environment at all. There's a whole party out there who doesn't believe in global warming, that it exists. So if Barack doesn't win, there's no clear sense that we'll even focus on that issue for another 4 or 8 years. What about education, funding, and making sure that kids, our young people, all young people, regardless of how much money your family has or what connections you have, can have an opportunity to go to college if they choose.
Right.
And have financial aid, because I know that I wouldn't have been able to go to college without financial aid. I didn't have parents with connections, or I didn't have a trust fund. I didn't have, a savings account. It was all about loans and working and work-study.
Right.
Those are the kind of things that could go by the wayside if people want to balance the budget on the backs of working-class folks.
Right.
And those are some of the, important things that are going to be decided in this race that will impact our lives for decades to come.
Right. Well, I think there's, 27 days left until the election. What can those of us that are registered, what can we do to help to get folks registered by Monday and throughout the rest of these last couple of weeks?
I think the thing for folks to really focus on this weekend is just reaching out to the people that they know may not be registered. So now is the time. If you're in school, talk to your classmates. If you're in your church, this is the weekend to talk about voter registration and find out people within congregations who aren't registered. In your workplaces. Right now, Kianna, I'd have you scour all of ViBE. I'd have you talk to every employee and just ask them, are you registered? And if not, go to gottavote.com. Just help them, lead them through the process. That's easy and simple.
Right.
And then after Monday, it's really going to be talking to everybody and making sure that they know what's at stake, that they're actually going to get out to vote on Election Day. It's all about execution, right? And whoever wins is going to be the person who can get their supporters out, right? Whose voters are the most passionate. That's going to make a difference. And I'm counting on ours because we have an organization that is unmatched. But, we want to get those folks who aren't focused, right?
That's right.
Now is the time to have those house parties, bring people together, do happy hours to focus on voting, whatever it is that works for your group, your family. Bring people together around Sunday dinner to talk about the issues, any and everything between now and November the 6th to just get people focused and understand this election in Virginia is going to be close. And Virginia is a swing state, so what happens in the state will absolutely make a difference in the entire election. That's how our election works because it breaks down to electoral votes. And Virginia and a few other key states have some of those, key swing voters, right? They could go anywhere.
Right.
Last year, 4 years ago, Virginia went Democratic. That's when a speaker like Barack won.
And when we saw those results, trust me, I was at one of those parties, viewing parties, and we all cried because who would have ever thought? So we can do it again. We can definitely do it again.
I am confident that we will. I know that our viewers, our supporters are passionate, and I know that everyone is praying and working, which is the key. It's prayer and work.
Right.
And with folks like you, Kianna, on our team spreading the word, how can we lose?
That's right. That's right. And And Virginia has your back because, it wasn't too long ago the president was here in Roanoke addressing us. And I don't know if you realize this, but part of our listening area, which is Lynchburg, Virginia, is very close to you in that it's the home of J. Crew.
Yes, one of my key stores.
Yes. So Virginia is definitely right there with you guys. And we wish nothing but the best for you and certainly hope that whatever we can do on this end will pay off in just the next few weeks.
All right, well, let's push. We just have 26 more days.
26 days. That's
26
it.
more days.
That's it.
This is like, that last sprint, We can get through it.
Push, push, push. Well, I know your time is valuable and you got to run, but can I ask a quick favor?
Sure.
Would you mind saying a phrase that pays?
I would love it.
Oh, yes. Okay. Whenever you're ready.
This is Michelle Obama, and I've got the vibe.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you. That is so wonderful.
All right. Gotta keep working hard.
Thank you so much for your time. And truly, honestly, from the bottom of my heart, my love, my family love and support is right there with you guys. God bless you.
God bless you too, sweetie. Love you.
Take care. Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.